You're listening to the Things of That Nature podcast. Coming to you from Denver, the Mile High City, is me, your host, Rockshana. I invite you to join me for truly honest, passionate, and fun talks that motivate, invigorate, and maybe inspire. When you're ready in the Mile High, the sky's the limit. Everything and anything goes. So let's start talking about things of that nature. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Things of That Nature podcast. I'm your host, Rochel, and today I have someone that I'm pretty sure we're about to have a lot of fun, because when I looked up about her, saw what she does, it's another one that I support, and she speaks my language. Today we have Rochel Lawson. Hey, Rochel.
Hey.
How are you today?
Absolutely fabulous.
That works. And where are you located?
All over the world. No, I'm kidding. I'm located in San Antonio, Texas right now.
Is that born and raised in San Antonio?
Oh no. I am the Silicon Valley girl. I was born and raised in Silicon Valley, Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area. And that is where I roll half the time, and half the time I'm in San Antonio. So my whole family, everybody is in San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm here in San Antonio half the time.
All right. 2 states under the belt.
Well, you know how it is.
Right. One state is home. The other state is, it's here.
Yeah, exactly. I never imagined myself ever living or spending the kind of time that I do in Texas. But San Antonio is different. And my grandmother was from Houston, Texas. And so the stuff I used to hear about Houston, and I've been to Houston, we have family and stuff there, but I haven't been, for a while. The stuff I used to hear about Houston wasn't always nice, so to speak, coming from my grandmother. Mm-hmm. So I never ever thought I would imagine myself living in the, spending time in the South, because I'm kind of a rebel. I'm a true California girl. I'm kind of a rebel, and I don't always do things that people tell me to do. I do things how I want to do it. And so but fortunately San Antonio is quite a bit different than other aspects of Texas. With regards to it being a military city, I should say. Every military base is here in San Antonio. So there's a lot of influx of people from all different places. So it's not so stuck in the deep southern ways of Texas as the way my grandmother used to talk about it. So, okay. So it's actually very nice. And it reminds me of San Jose when I was growing up in the 80s. It's a large city, but a very slow, relaxed, easy pace. So I go home to the Bay and get my feel in, and roll around there like I'm the bad chick, and then come back to San Antonio and I can be incognito, chill, relax, and do what I need to do to get things done.
I like how you said roll around like a bad chick.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of one of those type of chicks.
All right. What has you in San Antonio?
Well, that's a whole nother show.
But,
yeah. But yeah, I have a gentleman who captured my heart, and we were having a long distance relationship for a while. And then once my youngest child graduated from college, which was, I guess, almost 5 years ago, decided to, give things a try. And so it's always behind a man, and you know that.
If it's not a man, it's behind a woman. It's always behind somebody.
Exactly, right? Exactly. It's always behind somebody. So, but I like it. I mean, I really do like San Antonio. Like I said, I can get my feel of the Bay, when I go back there, and I do go back there quite a bit. So the traffic, the hustle and bustle, the being on your grind type of thing. And I do have a business there. But when I come back to San Antonio, when they talk about traffic, I really have to laugh because I don't think there's no traffic like the Bay Area or LA or New York or, DC area. So when they talk about traffic, I'm like, oh, this is not traffic. So it's nice. It gives me a sense of balance, and we all need balance in our life. You can't hustle and grind and do that all the time. You do need some time to sit back, relax, and take in the goodness and the blessings that you receive. And that's what San Antonio allows me to do.
So one of the things that really caught my eye when I was looking through, and a couple of people proposed and they're like, hey, can I come on your show? This is what I want to talk about. The thing that really caught my eye for you was they call you the queen of feeling fabulous.
Yes.
Where did that come from? Because I'm loving it.
Okay, so this probably happened about, I guess 11 years ago now. And I was I was branching off from my first business that I started in 1989, more traditional C Corp type of business in a male-dominated industry, only female in this industry, still in business today after 30 years.
Okay.
But I started branching out because I had opened up a holistic health and wellness spa, and I wanted to just learn, business had changed from when I started business to, 2009, business had changed quite a bit. When I started business, there was no internet, no cell phones, if you had a pager, you was either a business executive, business owner, or a drug dealer. And so business had evolved quite a bit in 2009. And I wanted to just, since I had opened up a new business, I just wanted to see what was out there. And so I was going to all these different events and meeting all these different people, and people would always ask me how I'm doing, and I would say fabulous, because that's how I roll. I'm a registered nurse as well, and a holistic nurse practitioner. So I just value health and well-being, and I truly believe that is our greatest asset. And so I would always say I feel fabulous because I do, and I did. I haven't been sick probably since I was 25 years old, and so, and then finally someone said, you know what, you're the queen of, and this gal actually became my mentor, but she said, you know what, I'm gonna call you the queen of feeling fabulous because you look fabulous. You always are very positive. You always have this fabulous energy. You always say you feel fabulous. You roll fabulous. So I'm gonna call you the queen of feeling fabulous, and it just caught on and it just stuck.
It's a good nickname. I love it.
Thank you.
Now you're an RN, and you said it's in a holistic realm?
Yeah, so I'm a Jane of all trades. So my first business I started, I'm an electrical engineer, and I could not get hired as an electrical engineer in the Silicon Valley, where I was born and raised, born at Stanford Hospital. I could not get a job in the Silicon Valley in the late 80s because I was a female. Even though I had the credentials of being an electrical engineer, I was young. I looked like I was about 12 years old. I was an African-American woman. And first of all, women didn't play in that arena, let alone an African-American woman that looked like she was 12. Mm-hmm. And so I interviewed with every company you can think of today. I interviewed with them, and they would tell me I did fabulous in the interview. However, I'm going to be working with men about my father's age. And until they can figure out how to make it work, they would call me back when they figured it out. Well, I never got the call. So I ended up starting a business with my husband, and that's the business we have today. And it's a telecommunications installation company. But at the same time, I had just finished RN school and got my registered nursing license, and was an emergency room trauma nurse and flight nurse. So I was doing that at night, and then, doing the business that we had started during the day. And I had a 17-year journey with my own health where I was pretty sick every single day. I could fake it. I faked it. But I was pretty sick, went to probably about 100 doctors over that time period, and no one could diagnose me what I had. But they were real quick to prescribe medication to me, even though they didn't know what I had. And so when I became 25 and I was really sick of just, suffering, and I really was just about to give up, I was meditating, and I had started doing all this holistic stuff. At the time, I didn't know it was holistic, but I started doing all this holistic stuff probably when I was a teenager. So like when I was a freshman in high school, 13 years old, I didn't stopped eating at fast food places, because no matter what I ate, I would be sick one day, the next day it would be fine. I could eat it in the morning, and in the afternoon it would jack me up. So I stopped eating fast foods. I started saving my little money to get massages. I started doing meditation because I was a track and field athlete, and my coach, one of my coaches, was really into meditation. I thought this was this, excuse my language, but I thought it was a white person thing. But I did it anyways because it helped me get the right mindset for me to run the 400 meters, which I ran at the age of 10 through college. So, I just started doing stuff. And at the age of 25, I was meditating, and I was already a nurse. So I kind of figured out what was going on with me. I knew medically what was wrong with me. And I got this download from God about the things that I was already doing, but it was like God put it in a sequence for me. And I said, you know what? I've tried everything else, and I'm still not feeling good. I'm still looking sick. But if you saw me, you would have never guessed I was as sick as I was. And so I said, what the heck, let me try it. And I tried the download that he gave me of stuff I was already doing, but in the sequence that was given to me. And I was healed in 9 months, and I have not been sick since. Like, I don't get the flu. I don't get sick. And so I realized right before I started really getting into the holistic stuff real seriously to get a master's degree in it, I started realizing, this is real stuff. This has been around for thousands of years, way beyond Western medicine even existed. And so I would share some stuff with my patients, like they're having heart attacks, and I would tell one, let's do a meditation. I would tell another one, let's do some deep breathing. I would talk to them about food and, all kinds of stuff. And these people would come back to me in the middle of the night, because I worked a night shift, and tell me that what I shared with them changed their life. We literally would see their cardiac rhythms change from an irregular rhythm or a rhythm that was more detrimental to the health of the cardiac system or the heart to a normal sinus rhythm, which is what we want to have. And so these people would come back, and I start thinking, okay, I'm onto something. So went to school, got the master's degree in Ayurvedic health. And actually it was what I had been doing all these years. I just didn't know it, and decided that it was time for me to share this in a broader, bigger capacity with people, and to really educate people about how important it is with your health and well-being. I've been at events where, people spend $10,000 on the next greatest marketing plan, but they're sick, and they won't spend $500 on learning how to take care of themselves holistically or naturally, or just learning how to take care of themselves, period. So it just became a real awareness and a real enlightenment for me, and a real passion. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow. I think it's, I don't know, I guess ironic, or maybe that's not the word to use, that you were doing all this anyway, and it took you a little bit to realize, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah. Sometimes I stepped into stuff. I would say I'm pretty good at, I'm a great business owner. My telecom company, I've been a top 50 women-owned business in Silicon Valley for many consecutive years. I've sat on hospital boards of directors. I sat on Northern California Lupus Foundation. I've been privy to do a lot of things. And I was always thinking, I was just trying to make it easy for basically another sister to be able to step into my shoes. If they got comfortable with me, they would be able to get comfortable with another Black woman on the boards that I sat on. But I just realized that I'm good at things. Doesn't necessarily mean that is my passion, but I'm good at it. I'm a great business owner, and I do love running my business. I am passionate about that, but I'm very, very passionate about health and well-being, because as an emergency room trauma nurse, I've seen the good, the bad, and the very, very ugly of what happens when people don't take care of themselves, specifically people that have a chronic health condition. And as we're seeing today with the COVID-19 coronavirus going on, it breaks my heart, because I'm in Texas, and people in Texas think a little bit different than people in California. So people out here were not wearing masks. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And the governor just had to open up the state real quick, because, Texas is, it's a big booming economy for the nation. I'm joking. It's not. But it doesn't surprise me that, now COVID-19 is going gangbusters. And I'm like, these people don't understand. You may not have it, you may not value your health, but what about valuing somebody else's health that you don't